And this is probably, as well, if you look at the data, where you see that a lot of people is clamped up, where people start to say, we need more ranks, there are not enough ranks in here, okay, because we just go over all of them. Probably this is, rather than being a problem of not having enough ranks, is how those ranks are utilized. Hello there, I'm Dejan, and welcome to a new video. So in the last day there has been a lot of talking about ranks distribution, character distribution, and everything that is related to the more competitive side of the casual or hardcore player base. That's why as well I've been doing a lot of videos about that. Like my last 3 videos, they've been all well received, and thank you so much for all the support, guys. It's been an amazing week, honestly, and the channel growth so much, the views were pouring in, so thank you so much. And I saw there are a lot of you that are actually returning viewers, which is great, but still most of you are not subscribed, so I still have to ask you one more time, please consider really pressing the red button. It helps a lot the channel. This community is growing, and I just cannot stop thanking you from the deepest of my heart. Really, thank you. So today I wanted to answer the comment that is the most posted under my videos, which is, we need more ranks. Tekken 8 needs more ranks. And especially looking at the last rank distribution, you might think that is kind of true, because all of the players are more clashed. All of the active players, sorry, are basically clashed between between red and blue ranks up to Fujin. So let's do a little analysis as usual. Nice coffee. So in this page over here, we can see open the Tekken 8 rank on the left and Tekken 8 7 rank list on the right. Specifically the beginning Tekken 7 rank list, because I think especially in a game like Tekken, or in fighting game in general, which have a massive lifespan, it's very easy to just pick up the last ranks list that they had and use that, and I think it would not give us a proper overview of what it used to be when the game was released, because these games, they have a very specific life cycle, and when the amount of people and the people that plays them when they're released is completely different from the people that plays them 5 years later. As we can see, Tekken 7 used to have way more ranks than Tekken 8. So is 36 of them, plus the first 9 from first Q to 9Q, to be the introduction one, basically, where basically you don't lose any points. I think it used to be like this, and I think you were not even playing online. I'm not sure about that, because that was such a long time ago that now I don't even remember. But basically, let's say you had 36 ranks, from first dan to Tekken God Prime. While on Tekken 8, we only got 30 of them. And the first 10, beginner to warrior, are introduction rank, so you don't lose any point. So first of all, I think that reducing the amount of ranks from Tekken 7 and Tekken 8 was just a good choice, period. All of this is just too much. It's too many. We don't need as many. Having 3 ranks for every color category is the perfect number, because you get the introduction to the color, let's say the Garyu, then you get the mid-level, when you basically, if you move, it means that you are moving back between Teryu and Garyu a lot, no, if you're stuck over there. And then you have the almost promotion level, where maybe you got to Mighty Ruler, for instance, but then you get back to Teryu, but then you need to achieve the new rank. I think it works very well as well on a visual standpoint as well. It looks way better in my opinion. Taking out the 10 introduction ranks and putting them into the 30 rank count, that's a bit of a more open for conversation topic. Because I think that having 30 ranks and 10 to not penalize you for lose means that basically 30% of all your ranks are meaningless. So I understand on a release day point of view, it is a valuable choice, but it starts to get a bit old now. And this is probably, as well, if you look at the data, where you see that a lot of people is clamped up, where people start to say, we need more ranks, there are not enough ranks in here, okay, because we just go over all of them. Probably this is, rather than being a problem of not having enough ranks, is how those ranks are utilized. Because having 30 of them But then having the active chunk of players, the people that is still playing the game now, being stuck in 9 of them for most of them, and then you have the little, what is 10% above. It's a bit reductive. You have a lot of space. It's like having a 5-bedroom flat, but at the end using just one of them because you don't need the other 4. That's what it looks like. In the current state of the ranking system and the rank points distribution, I honestly think that there are 4 main problems that we can see. And I try to list those looking at the whole picture of the ranks, not just at the one where I fluctuate and move around, or where most of the people moves around. So from the beginning, the first one in my opinion is that there are too many free ranks. Having 10 rank to gather for free on a 30 rank system is basically, as I said, a third of them are meaningless, or way less meaningful. Because if you factor time into those ranks, you will always get over them. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter. If you keep on playing, eventually, even if you are the worst player on the world, eventually you're gonna get over and you're gonna get to warrior. Because you need 1 win every million fight, and you're gonna get to warrior, because you cannot lose points. Then for the second problem that I see is that for the middle ranks, which I'm referring to Gaudi and Mighty Ruler, the system is a bit too generous on points. I understand that making a ranking system that makes everyone happy is very difficult, because and as a company point of view, you rather make something that makes the average players happy and the higher player a bit more meh, these ranks don't mean anything else, because the average player at the end is the massive chunk of your players, which is the bigger chunk of your consumer. So you want the more people happier. But at the same time, having this much generosity in this system, in Garyu, in red and purple ranks, especially being completely opposite in blue ranks where it becomes super oppressive and negative, it's a bit too much, because you're completely stripping away the value that those ranks have. And the third problem that I would like to point out is the double standards blue rank. And this is very simple. We all know that there is a prowess matchmaking, we all know that there is Tekken prowess in Tekken, and if you get to Tekken King, your Tekken prowess gets to the higher hand, and once you get to the higher hand, you might get demoted in blue. The blue ranks you face, they are different from the blue ranks you face if you first join the blue ranks without having achieved Tekken King. And this makes it basically from the Fujin and Raijin and Kishin and Bushin to being ranks that have 2 parallel roads. So there is a set of Fujin to Bushin players, and there is a set of Fujin and Bushin player which have low prowess and high prowess, basically. And the last problem, which I call the problem for the gods, is that once you reach God of Destruction in this limit, different than it used to be in Tekken 7, you don't have a maximum amount of points that you cannot get over. You can increase incredibly for a massive amount your Tekken points, your ranking points, to the point that basically if you go to that point you will never get demoted, which is a problem that not much people are gonna speak about, because it's really a problem. It's a problem reserved to the few elected that made it, and they're still winning and winning and winning in God of Destruction. But nonetheless, is a flaw in the system, in my opinion. So if you in my opinion, finding a solution to those 4 problems will make a better spread throughout the ranks, and will give you a better usage of all the badges that we have, rather than adding new ranks. It will bring a better solution, because I still think that this amount of ranks, this number of ranks, is the perfect number that you need for Tekken. You don't need all of this. This is too many. This is just too many. Now, rather than just speaking what are the problems and what I think it doesn't work anymore in the system, I tried to came up with kind of solutions that will actually bring, I think, benefits to the ranking system at the moment. Because the main problem that I see is the fact that the first 15 ranks are way underpopulated because they're too easy. So the first change I will bring to the system is to reduce the beginner safe zone from being to beginner to warrior to beginner to brawler. So you get 6 ranks where you don't lose any points, which is fair, is your introduction. And then you get to Brawler. The second change, which is not really a change, it's just a consequence of this first change, is to have Brawler, Ranger, and Cavalry having the basically same treatment as the yellow and orange rank, to be a bit more generous on the point of view, on the points ratio between win and loss, because you still want to keep this green, yellow, and orange as a kind of introduction level, but yet to having to give the hint of if you lose something, you know, is where the game starts to click in. And basically, I will just have the green ranks with the yellow system with the yellow amounts of win-loss points. The yellow ranks will get the orange amount of win-loss points, and the orange rank will just get a bit more severe. For the red and purple ranks, though, is where, in my opinion, the game should start to be hard-ish, which means I would introduce the same system that used to be in Tekken 7 from Blue and onwards, which is you win and lose the same amount of points. Which might sound crazy, putting in a fact of this is the system that used to be in the Tekken 7 Blue ranks, but there is a big difference here. If you get demoted, the match you have after is a straight promotion match. In Tekken 7 it was not like this. If you get demoted in Tekken 7, you were getting back to the middle of your line, and you had to start to re-rank up. So it was very hard it was way more difficult to get back a rank. So in Tekken 8, rank retention is way easier. So having a harder system of improving your rank, even on the average, it would work in my opinion with the fact that it's way harder to lose a rank in Tekken 8. So I will put red and purple ranks into having the same amount of win and loss ratio. And with this case, with this kind of scenario, you will have actually red and purple ranks spread and evenly distributed, because at the moment it feels a bit of a big miscellaneous in here, and it felt a bit like that when I was playing. From the blue ranks onwards instead is a bit more tricky, the solution, and it's probably where it's most needed at the moment as well, in my opinion, and is that the Tekken prowess needs to be more evenly distributed. Because for how it works at the moment, you have something between 180 and 190,000 points when you're in blue ranks, maybe 160, 170, but you are around that and you get faced with that amount of prowess average. And then you hit Tekken King and you skyrocket to 230, 240. And once you skyrocket to 230, 240, you face only people that is in this zone. That's it. This is the kind of people you find. Or that they have a character in that zone, or that they reached Tekken King, they fell down, but they basically finished to work their way back. So that's very hard. So especially from blue ranks onwards, I think that the Tekken prowess needs to increase more gradually, like 10,000 every rank. And the Tekken prowess should decrease, so that you lose these double standards blue ranks, and you just unify the both of them. What this will bring is that a lot of people will separate in the blue ranks between Fujin and Rajin and Kishin and Bushin. They will have a big separation between the two, and it will be very hard to get through. Like when you get to Rajin and Kishin, when you get to Kishin and Bushin, you will feel way more the difference than now. Because now, again, especially before you get to Tekken King, getting through blue, it feels like you're fighting opponents roughly on the same level. And I did not get through blues in one day, just to be clear. I needed like a couple of weeks to get through blues the first time to get to Tekken King, and then I went all the way back. So I'm not just randomly, I'm sharing my experience here. From the blue onwards, from the high hand point of view, point system, it works. You lose more than what you get. It's very severe, but it works because it's balanced from the fact that keeping your rank is easier. So, and there is win and loss streaks and everything. So I like that. Is the higher side of the ranking chart. You want to get there, you have to work your ass. Yes, and that's how it should be. And you lose more points than what you get. That's fine. You shouldn't lose full points if a Fujin fights a Tekken Emperor. That's a different story. But still, losing more points than what you get is what it should be on the higher end. I agree. And for the God of Destruction problem, for the problem of the gods, I will just introduce the legend system. I think it will be fun. It will give as well a lot of more meanings on the God of Destructions that are not pro players. You know, that they fight just online, which is more about the content creator side. Like, they would bring, I think, a lot of fun, and it will bring more importance to the graduatory. And that, for who does not know what is the legend system, is basically in Street Fighter 6 when you get to the highest rank, which I don't remember which is, I think is Master. Don't want to say any bullshit, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think is Master. And you rank up higher up on the Master rank, you get a legend badge if you are in the top people graduatory, basically. And basically is a graduatory of the top player. This will be very fun, and this is treated as a kind of season in games like, I don't know, Rocket League and stuff like that, when this rank resets. But it's not a real rank, it's just like an extra badge of honor. Your rank is God of Destruction, and that will stay like that. But your legend rank will reset after a while, after 2 months. Okay, you will still retain your God of Destruction status, obviously, but if you want to be if you want to get your legend up again, you will have to work on it again, and it will reset every 2 months, and I think it would be very nice as well. But that's it. This is how I would see the system. I will change the system. I'm not saying that the system should not have been released like this, because on release, especially Tekken 8, for the biggest and is like probably the most successful launch that Tekken has ever had, at least on the recent time, on the online game point of view. Was the biggest launch, so he had the biggest amount of casual players. So it was good to have a system that was a bit more gentle on the casual players. But as we see now with the last data, the casuals are gone, and as normal as it is. So now the rank system needs to be a bit restructured to fit what is the player base now. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen in Season 2. I said this months ago, and I'm going to keep on saying, Season 2, we're going to get a redistribution of the rank. We are going to get our ranks reset. Get ready for this. No, it's not going to be a hard reset. You're going to be sent a couple of ranks down. It's always happening in Tekken. It's always happening in every game. It's going to happen as well in Tekken 8. Get ready for it. Don't start to cry when it happens. A rank loss can always be taken back. This is your only belief. This needs to be your only belief. But apart from that, I've been the Jug. You have been awesome as always, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!